Day 3 C Programming. Welcome back everybody. I'm Prakash Pradhan, your trainer for this entire series. So in our previous two videos, we have discussed about the basic information of C programming language. Now onwards, we are going to learn something in a practical basis. That means we are going to start programming in C programming language. But before we start, coding in C programming language, as we have already discussed, that you need to have certain platform. That means you need to have a software where you are going to write a program for the C programming language. If you notice that some time back ago, in some of the colleges, some of the schools, still it is there actually. I mean to say that in many schools or many colleges, many universities, they might be using a screen or the software where you write the program for the C programming language, and the interface that you find is a blue screen by default, and that is not GUI, that is completely CUI. Do you know why? We have already discussed on this. That is a Turbo C or Turbo C++. That means we have many types of software that can support a platform to write a program for the C programming language. It depends upon you whichever platform or the software that you're convenient with. I find myself convenient to work with the code block. Why? Because of one advantage, because we do have our graphical user interface. Now, if I talk about a Turbo C, I'm not trying to say it is completely outdated, but a difference is there. If I write a code for the C programming language using your Turbo C, it's going to give you only CUI. That means character user interface. Now, there is no use of mouse, to be honest. Okay, and over here in a code block, it gives a user-friendly environment where you can write a program easily. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to download your code block, how to install the code block, and in this session I'm going to show you at least one sample program, how we can write and run the program in C programming language. Okay, now in order to download and install, simply go to the search engine and you can simply write the code block, and you'll get the first page over here, codeblock.org, and then you come across this page. Okay, now over here in this page, you have option to download because you are downloading, isn't it? You are downloading. Now you click the download. After you click the download, you'll find download the binary and other options. Of course, we are going to use the download the binary release. So after you click over here, you also need to make sure for which operating system we are going to install this code block in order to write a program to develop any kind of software using a C programming language. Of course, you do have many options over here. In a sense, you might be using the operating system from the Windows. You might be using the operating system from the Linux, Mac. So there are multiple operating systems in the market you can use for any platform. So right now, I do believe you already know that I'm using Microsoft this Windows 10 operating system. So that's why I'm going to click this one. But in your environment, if you are using a different operating system, it is up to you. Okay, so I'm going to click this one, and I also need to show you that we are going to install one specific one. Okay, WinGW, this one. I suggest you all to this one. There are many reasons why we're using this one. Of course, that we're going to discuss in a days to come. But right now, for this today's session, I want you all to see how you can download and install your block code, that means code block, in order to write a program using a C programming language. Then you click this one, okay, source Fortinet, and then it will give you the link actually to download. It will start down. See, have a look over here. Okay, now the downloading will start. Okay, otherwise you can simply click if it is taking too long time. Okay, downloading problem. Okay, get update, anything you do. Okay, the download will start automatically. Okay, now for you, I have already downloaded to save your time. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how does it look like after you install this. Okay, installing this your code block is not a big deal. This is just your simple software, simple program. Of course, simple in a sense, it's going to give you the platform, but I'm talking about from the installation point of view. Okay, you all can install. So in that sense, I'm telling you, it's very easy to install. Okay, now after it's been downloaded and you install, so how does it look like? It looks like this. See, it looks like this. So how you open? I'm going to close it for you, and I'm going to open again. If I click this one, see, code block look like this. But before we go for the code block, I want you all to understand one more thing. Let's have a look. Okay, now when you write a program using a C programming language, why do you write a program? First question is that because I would like to develop one software. I would like to make one software. Okay. Now, when you write any kind of software, that executable program you find is actually ultimately is in a binary form. That means 0 1, because I do believe that computer understands only the binary. That means this is your executable file. Okay, but do you get executable file at the same time? That means just in a click you are going to get a executable file having an extension .exe? No. Why? You need to write a program. That we are going to learn now. We are going to write a program in C programming language. So whatever programs you write over here, so this program is known as a source program. Okay, or we call source file. So source file contains the coding, whatever coding you are doing in order to obtain a desired output in a form of the software. That is your source file. Okay, that means you should understand in simple way, source file is that file that carries your instructions, the set of instructions that is going to be processed. But after you write the source file, do you think it is going to get converted automatically into the machine level language in order to get in a form of executable file? Obviously no. Why? Computer understands only 0 1 and you understand a source file program. That means a high level programming language that is written in English like words. So computer will not understand that. It has to be in a computer readable form to get any desired output. That means we have in between now, there comes a compiler. Remember, we have already discussed. So we are going to build a program. Okay, we have a linker, we have a compiler, so entire processing tasks are done. So after the processing is done, then only you are going to get the executable file in a form of software. Of course, it has so many things to do over here: linking, compiling, building, so many works are there. Since it works at the speed of light almost, so that's why you never feel that what are the work it's doing actually behind the scene. Okay, so any program you write in C programming language, that is known as the source file, and the source file will get converted into object file, and then only we will get the executable file in a form of software, which I'm going to show you step by step, okay, with proof. Now, so let's start how we write the program in the C programming language. Okay, so we are going to write a program in a C programming language for the first time with the help of your code block. So now if you have a look over here, if you see over here, this is the interface. Remember I told you that we don't use your Turbo C because there you have to use the CUI, character user interface. There is no graphical user interface or something like this. And at this age we are friendly, we are used to working with the GUI rather than CUI. So that's why I thought of using this code block. Now we are going to learn first how to create a file, to write a program in your code block for the C programming language, how we run, how we build. Okay, now we also need to understand that when I go to file and create a new for the first time, okay, for the first time we get so many options. Don't worry, we are going to use almost all of this, but since this is the first program we are going to do with the help of code block to write a program in C programming language, I suggest you not to select any of this. Just go for the empty file. Do you see this asterisk? That means this file is not saved, so I'm going to save it. I'm going to press Ctrl S. Where do you want to save? So I'm going to save in a desktop. That I mean to say document, since we are in a lab environment. Okay, so I'm going to write a name of my file. Let's say testing, for example, and YC. This is a extension. Okay, now in documents I have saved. Save. It's done. Now see, asterisk is done. At the same time, I want you all to open these documents at the same time so that you see the changes that you find over here. Okay, now program is saved now. Only the file is saved. It is not built, it is not run. Don't forget, you have only one file over here. See, testing file. Okay, now I'm going to write a simple program. Okay, let's write a simple program. Remember, curly brace will start the program. Okay, now I'm going to declare at least 4 integer variable. Okay, so I'm going to write int A, B, C, D, let's say E, F. Okay, let's do all the 4 basic mathematical operation in a one simple program. Okay, this is the first program. Now, what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to assign a value for A, B, and then I'm going to perform rest of the mathematical operation over here. A is equals to, let's make it 10, and B is equals to 20, and don't forget it has to be terminated with the semicolon. If you miss this, it's not going to run, it's going to show the error. Okay, and now after that I'm going to process these values. Okay, so C is equals to A plus B semicolon, D is equals to let's say B minus A, since the value of B is higher. Okay, and then E is equals to A into B semicolon, and then F is equals to B divide A. Now I need to print it. So don't forget, executable statement is printf. Okay, now these all are the integer. Don't forget what I'm going to print, C, D, E, F, they all are integer. Okay, now of course we're going to talk about the data type and all, but this is a sample program, so I want you all to see that when you run the program, it's going to create two more files over here in this area. One is your known as object file, and another one is known as your executable file. Object file and executable files are going to be created over here when I run. After the source file is been run, build, it's going to convert into your easiest way of object file. That will be your object actually, and your software that you're going to build with the help of the C programming language, that is known as a exe file. So those two files are going to get listed over here when I build and run. Okay, I want you all to see at the same time, so that's why this screen is open for you all. So I want to print how many integer value? 4. Okay, so that's why first integer value, that is being represented by D and /n, that means new line. Second integer value /n, that means new line. Okay, and the third integer value, what we have? CDE. Okay, so third integer value, new line, and we have another one. What is that? The last one, F. For that F also we need to say that is also integer value. So let's give a next line over here also. Now I want to print all of these variables, C, D, E, F. It has to be terminated with this. Okay. Now see, have a look over here. Our file name is testing.c. There is nothing else, just a testing.c. Now, as I told you that we love to write a program with the over here with the help of, I'm going to say, the code block, not a turbo C. Why? GUI interface. So first I'm going to do the build. That does the work of compile, weld, linking, everything. Okay, about the linking and all we have already discussed in our previous video. If you have missed out, please go through that. Okay, now I'm going to build it first. Have a look over here. Okay, if I build over here, it's building. Did you notice two files are generated now, testing.o and testing.exe. Testing.o means this is object file. Okay, after the compilation it's going to give you this, and this .exe is the executable file. Your exact software is this. So you have another one option, build, run, build and run both. Since the build is done, there is no error. Did you find any error over here? No, there is no error. So you can run it now. Your output is this, 1, 2, 3, 4. After I press enter key, have you noticed it's giving you this information? But we are talking about, we took this program as a one software, as a one program on a demand of some of the client. But when the client run the program in his or her system, he or she is going to get this information as well. Do you think it is needed? No, it's not needed. So this is coming from your actually code block. So the client has nothing to do with the code block. Client needs only application, only the software. So if I go to this exe file, I'm going to present over here. If I go to this exe file and double click, let's see what's going to happen. Did you see? The output is here. That means this is your software. You are going to hand it over this program to your client. Now if I press enter, have a look over here. Okay, if I press enter, did you find that information that was displayed running program from the code block? Once again, go enter. This is the information that's been displayed. That means in a software, this information is not going to display from the client side because client has nothing to do with the code block. Double click, program is displayed, enter, done. So this was the first program after you install the code block in your operating system, and how you can write the program, how it works. Okay, what is the purpose of this object file, what is the purpose of testing file, what is the purpose of your main source file. These were the thing I wanted you all to understand. So I hope this journey is going to be very exciting because we have very long way to go. And if you find this program fruitful. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you.